Welcome to Landria Anka on YouTube. It's my pleasure to help you break through fears and go after and actually live an awesome life. What is all of this? It's crazy, isn't it? It's like, why would we ever feel anything but bliss? That is what we're made of. That's what we come from. The ultimate creator is that. Why is there anything else? If anybody has that answer, please tell me. Yes, it's expressing itself, it's experiencing everything and all of the possibilities, that which includes the darkest, deepest places, that which we name bad, which is just it experiencing itself. It is not good nor bad, but it doesn't feel very nice, does it? And we're carrying that with us. That is part of the one energy, so all of that affects us. All of that is carried forward and then created here. And either we hang on to it or we release it. It's time to release it. All right, so I have shared things with you in the past. Actually, I think a year ago. I shared with you that I had a lot of visions of water and some different earthquakes. This is the beauty of videos. You can say, yeah, I actually did say that, and I can go back and find those videos. I don't really want to do that, but I'm not here to prove anything or that I'm some big mystic or visionary. All I know is probably a lot of you have had the same dreams. Maybe you've had dreams of, world calamities or crises or floods, earthquakes, different things. Maybe you're experiencing some dreams that are a little bit out there. You probably don't want to tell anybody because it sounds a little crazy. Sometimes it's that which you have experienced in other lifetimes that may not have been on this planet. If anybody's having dreams of aliens, spacecraft, wars, things like that, places that don't look quite like this Earth, there's a very good chance you experienced a lifetime on another planet that many other planets are similar to ours. Probably not as dense as we are. I'm hoping nothing's worse than this because it probably blew itself up. Maybe that's what happened to Mars. They just didn't get their act together and blew it up, and who knows who's here from there. I don't know. I'm totally open to everything. So that's what I want to talk to you about. Is there anybody on the other end of this camera going, oh, now she's gone too far? Limitations. Limitations. Is it possible? Yeah, it's all possible. Of course it is. Because there's no limitations to the one, to the source. And I've had people say they are uncomfortable with me saying source or the one. God, what does it matter what you call it? It's the all-powerful, all-loving, all-beautiful source of which you are the essence of. And who knows, where does source begin? Maybe there's no limit to that. I don't think there is. I think it's just so incomprehensible for our pea brains, which, by the way, have a capacity that's way beyond what we're using, including our DNA. We're equipped. You're equipped. And all of these limiting ways of thinking, all of these limiting beliefs are coming from something else. You didn't pull that out of thin air. You got it from somebody else. If I put you in the woods and aliens came down and I said, we accepted that, you wouldn't be afraid. You'd say, oh, a god or whatever. You wouldn't understand it until they explained who they were. They're just visiting from another planet. Okay, well, that's what the Indians, American Native Indians, understand this. They're totally accepting that stuff. We create our own limitations. We have so many layers of, it's this way, use this name, I'm a Christian, you're a Jew, blah, blah, blah. Who gives a hoot? Who cares? We're coming from one thing. All the labels, all the names, all the limiting beliefs are just self-created in this timeline on this earth, and that's all going to change. And you've probably been everything that you may not feel real good about in this lifetime. another religion, another skin color, that you have an idea of what they're about. And that includes everybody, by the way. Everybody. We think that we're the ones being, ooh, everybody's against me. And then you may be thinking bad stuff about the people you think are against you. When does it stop? Where does it stop? It starts with you and I. Nobody else, not pointing the finger at anybody else, and we have got to get our act together because there are no limits. And I'm going to tell you something, all these visions and things, I actually told you a few months ago, as of this video, months ago, I told you something really big was going to happen this fall. Really big. I said, I think there's going to be a huge shift. I was feeling it in August. I felt it in the springtime. I felt it was coming up. I actually felt like it was going to be September. I think I said September. I'm only feeling and listening to my body. And in August, I got some major energy shifts and feelings like something huge was happening. It was a little unsettling and very exciting, and also it was bringing veils down and opening up gateways. If you're experiencing that, don't be afraid of that. You know why sometimes we're afraid? Because it's a scary feeling, because we like to be in control. This, the one is called God, not the source. Christianity is the way to go. What is Christianity? What is it? You believe in Christ. I think everybody pretty well knows that Jesus Christ was on this earth and performed miracles. Why do we have to name everything? There are beautiful, wonderful beings that came here that showed us the way. When we get into the semantics of it, that's when we get hung up on being individuals and separating ourselves from each other. And some of you may not even like me saying that. Oh no, we're right, and if they aren't our way, they're going to hell. Whoa. Do you think the one said, well, if you're this, you're okay and you're on my team, and you guys that I created that you're part of, you're going to hell? No, I'm sorry. There's unconditional love. What does that mean? If you are a Christian or anything else, and you believe there's unconditional love, then how can you believe that the one power would ever punish anybody from anybody else just for being here? And if you don't believe in reincarnation, that's a scary thought. Because if you think you got one shot to make it here with whatever situation you have, that is very scary. Because it's going to take a lot longer, and it has been taking a lot longer for us to get our act together. That's like saying those in the Dark Ages who had no real access to anything spiritual, although there were sects and groups there, that they all went to hell. Get rid of all this stuff. Get rid of the veils. And by the way, some of you are already going, well, okay, yes, except for this. Can you completely open your mind? We're going into the transition. It's already happened. I'm connected to it. There's a good chance most of you are. Some of you are probably feeling it. You know it and you're fighting it. It's scary. Why? Because it means you're going to have to get uncomfortable. Less uncomfortable than you have been in a dense place that we've lived in, where we believe things should be in a certain way. 9 to 5, go to school, and if you don't, oh my God, you're an idiot. If you didn't do the traditional stuff. Look at the people who've excelled. They bucked the system every time. They went after their dreams and things that were beneficial to this planet. Or at least they thought so. And then there's those who go to the dark side. We're not going to waste our time with that. We're going to focus on the positive. I'm here to tell you right now, you are transitioning in a huge way. This is your opportunity. We are in the 4th dimension, going into the 5th right now. There's a lot of people dying and a lot of babies being born right now. A lot of star seeds showing up that are going to take this planet to another direction. And they're going to be enlightened little beings. One of my neighbors is one. He is a little enlightened being. When I talk to him, man, that kid shines. He just sees the world differently. Not just because he's a child. There's a light in that child. And you and I, those of us who are a little older, and when I say older, that could be 30 and above, they've had been through some of the bad stuff, or, well, let's say, I don't want to say bad stuff, the real transitional, challenging stuff on this planet. Man, we took some big hits. We're the warriors. We're the ones that helped shift this planet into the next phase, helped bring our humanity up to that level. And we're going to keep going until we hit that frequency when everything that's dense is just going to fall away, go over and learn someplace else, maybe on another planet, another life, maybe on the other side, and whatever schools are over there to raise their frequencies. And they're not going to be allowed on this planet because the shift's going to happen and they're just not matching the frequency. And that's all we are. We're frequencies matching each other, neither good nor bad. But it sure feels good when you're on a higher frequency and you stop suffering. This planet's going to have pain. That is beautiful if you can experience it that way. And I'm not saying it feels great, but you're going, why am I experiencing this? Why am I experiencing this really uncomfortable feeling? Is it because I'm choosing something good and I'm just going into my uncomfort zone because it's new? It's me breaking away from tradition and opening up some huge doors, and it's exciting, but it's scary at the same time. Or are you uncomfortable and feeling bad because you are not letting go and you are staying in that dense place and you're watching the news, the fires, the earthquakes, by the way, I never dreamed of the fires. I haven't had any fire dreams, which is sort of odd. But I'm going to tell you something right now. You're here for a damn good reason. You are a privileged soul. Big time. There are just so many places on this planet at this time. And you were up for the challenge. You came here, and now you have to follow through with that job. What is it? Quit pointing the finger. Boom. It's me. And there's only one thing I have to work on, and that's raising that frequency. We've got to do it every day. It's happening, people. Shut down the news. Do not look at this as a negative. These are things that are changing the earth, that are forcing us to be great, that are forcing people to get out of their homes, sometimes losing their homes, sometimes losing their lives, sometimes losing loved ones because there are floods and fires and all these things going on, and saying, what is happening? Our world is changing. It's waking us up. It's shaking us out of this mediocre lives that we're living, 9 to 5, and saying, this is how it is, and God forbid you step outside of that. This is a huge moment on this planet, and it's a beautiful one. And it is time for you to focus on that. I want you, should you join us in a higher frequency, to focus on that light, that love, how your heart is feeling. And I'm going to do one right after this on a heartfelt mini meditation where we're going to get in touch with that. So we walk around and we don't get in touch with our feelings. We're just constantly thinking. Your mission is to focus on nothing but light and love and healing. Seeing the beauty in everything, and it's not going to be easy. But it's a heck of a lot more beautiful and enlightening and manifesting anything you want when you pull out of that dense place that you're familiar with that is not comfortable either. This isn't a comfortable place to be. But when you raise your frequency, it's going to be a beautiful place, even with its challenges. It's time. It's time. I'm sorry. Clock just ran out. You're going to start to see some things happen on here. There's going to be a lot of disclosure of things. We're going to see a lot of things come to light with governments. And we don't have to react to that. We just create our own lives. Look at Elon Musk and SpaceX. They're creating schools, new schools of thought that really fit into the new earth. They're doing their own space travel. They're creating ways to create free energy and ways that people will have abundance and never have to worry about food again. There will be no starvation. They're using science and technology, and you can think what you want about these people. They're human beings too. But if they're contributing and using technology in a very positive way, they can change this world. And you can't change the world being broke and sad and limiting yourself. I just saw how many millions did he donate to higher education, to helping kids in places where there are no schools to educate themselves, empowering themselves. He's spending millions to do that. He's not getting anything back for that. He's contributing to this world. He's a billionaire. He earned it. There's nothing wrong with abundance. And he's sharing it and he's making a change. And we all have that ability. And you can do it as a teacher or a caretaker or a woodworker or any way you want. Any way you want that you enjoy. Maybe it's a really simple life and letting go of all the other responsibilities and things that are not good for you or anybody else. There's a decision you need to make. And you need to do it now. And you need to practice this every day and become that person. And know, you have to know right now that this is a pivotal, beautiful moment for you. And when that gateway opens up, you will be blown away by what's going to flow to you and who's going to show up and what's going to show up and how you're going to start feeling. And you're going to realize you just tapped into all that you are, an unlimited power that is everything. That includes you. You are whole, perfect, strong, powerful, loving, harmonious, and happy. Thank you for the blessings you are sending, my friend, and the miracles, the strength to step outside of this traditional, dense world into the beautiful, powerful, loving one that exists right now, that you are going to participate in. Thank you for giving my friend that strength to meditate every day and connect to that, even on those days when it's not so easy. Watch what it does for you in your life. It's waiting for you. Just waiting. But you have free will, and you have to make that choice. Namaste.